Most people that do these things and have these hobbies and sports and things of that nature, they're trying
Yeah.
to escape something because their job sucks, or they don't, maybe their family situation isn't the greatest, or maybe their family situation is great, but just time consuming.
I think as I get older and I become more grounded in my life and I become more content with my life and the direction that it's going, because I'm doing the things that I want to do and making things happen for myself and all of that, I think I need those outlets less and less.
I don't watch sports anymore like that. Like, you know me, I used to be a huge sports fan. And I
Yeah.
don't watch sports anymore like that. And my friend said, well, maybe it's because you don't need that escape, or you found that that escape wasn't working for you. I said, what? What do you mean? He's like, yeah, I mean, most people that do these things and have these hobbies and sports and things of that nature, they're trying
Yeah.
to escape something because their job sucks, or they don't, maybe their family situation isn't the greatest, or maybe their family situation is great, but just time consuming, and they just need a moment where
Just
their
to,
mind relaxes
yes.
and to get away. And then maybe that stuff for me was an escape, because let's face it, I've gone through bouts of depression. I have severe anxiety.
Yeah.
Maybe those things were a way for me to escape. And at some point, I don't know, within the last 10 years, it's just been this gradual thing that I just don't use sports anymore. And it
Yeah.
was like, okay, so what's happening here? And my friend was like, was probably all of a sudden. I was like, no, it wasn't all of a sudden. I just realized it suddenly.
Yeah.
The change was gradual, but I realized it suddenly. And it's interesting because in this third segment, we're going to be talking about why we get older and we don't want to go outside. But I think we don't talk enough about why our mentality changes as we get older. Like that,
Yeah.
hopefully you're evolving. Have you noticed anything like that happening with you, where just things that you were like really, really into, like now you're entering your 40s and you're like, I don't do that as much as I used to?
Yeah. I would say like film and television. I used to watch movies and be into film and television a lot. Now my TV is barely on. If it's on, it's just like background music, mostly for the dogs. Like I I used to love going to the movies and I just don't do it anymore. And it was like a creative thing for me, but also yeah, it was a form of escapism. And I think as I get older and I become more grounded in my life and I become more content with my life and the direction that it's going, because I'm doing the things that I want to do and making things happen for myself and all of that, I think I need those outlets less and less. And and I don't need a form of escapism from a job that I hate, because I'm doing something now that I enjoy.
Right.
I don't get those, we talked about it last week, those Sunday scaries, or those job nightmares or things like that. Like I don't have those issues anymore. I always have anxiety. It's generalized.
Yeah, it's
So it's
generalized.
it's gonna
It ain't
be
going
there
nowhere.
in general.
If we could
Right.
get rid of it, we
So there are
sure
still
enough
things
would.
that I do that's kind of like born out of that. Like they say, watching the same show or something like that over and over is emotional regulation. I do that with music. I listen to the same song on repeat over and over and over, and that's a form of emotional regulation. So I'll do things like that now. But yeah, I think as you start, I think anytime you start to kind of take more ownership of your life and taking stock, like as you get older and realizing, okay, am I happy right now? Am I happy doing what I'm doing? And if not, then I need to make some changes. And like then making those changes, you need those coping skills less and less.
Yeah. I'm about to get real personal about myself. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know what it is. I don't know if
You feeling some type of way today?
is Saturn in lemonade right now, something like that.
I think Mercury is in Gatorade.
Okay. Is it
Yeah.
orange or fruit punch?
As far as I know, it's glacial ice.
Whoo, that's the reason why I'm feeling the way I'm feeling.
Which is really just cherry.
Yeah, it really is just cherry and has a weird aftertaste, but I still love Gatorade. But okay, so I'm about to get personal. Okay, so as I'm having this conversation with my friend, more and more doors and windows are opening to me. And you know, you hit the nail on the head about happiness.
Yeah.
Also, I am a person who is goal oriented.
Yeah.
I set a goal. That goal needs to be accomplished. Whether I even want to accomplish the goal anymore during the process. Like I say, I want to do something, I'm going to do it, and then I have to do it.
Yeah.
So I was thinking to myself, when did this shift happen? And it happened after my divorce.
Mm-hmm.
And it probably happened when I came to the realization that the plans that I had made for myself weren't going to be the plans that came out. Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
If I was going to get married and have kids, it wasn't going to be on the timeline that I had set it out to be on.
Right.
And then I need to be okay with whatever life brings me because the goals had changed.
Yeah.
And then there was also a point when I was younger, which I probably would never have admitted, probably didn't even really realize it. I kind of didn't like myself.
Yeah.
I was a mean drunk back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
Back in the day, I would get drunk and turn mean. And it was because I didn't like myself. And the reason why I didn't like myself is because I wasn't being authentic to who I am. I was faking the funk, not necessarily to fit into the crowd, because I'm always the person that will go off or do this thing. My boys that I've known since high school always say, you never want to do what everybody else is doing. You always got to go against the grain. So it was never me trying to fit in, but whatever it was, I wasn't living authentically. And at a certain point, when I stopped living for the goals that I had set in the time frames that I had set, I was more reflective and like, yo, I'm kind of like a badass. Like the things that I've accomplished in my life is kind of dope. I've done some really, really cool things. I've done so much in my life that there isn't actually anything that I need to do anymore. Do you know what I mean? There's nothing that I need to do anymore. And there's a fulfillment in the fact that I don't want it to end right now. If it ended all now and my life flashed before my eyes, there's not going to be any wasted moments. There's not going to be any what ifs. The what ifs are, what if I didn't decide to do this and didn't decide to do that, but not what if I had done that. Yeah. Because I didn't do it.
Right. You didn't waste any opportunities.
I didn't waste opportunities, not opportunities that I wanted. Did I waste opportunities? Something that other people would be like, well, you had the opportunity to do this and this and this, but I know what path that would have led me down, and I wouldn't have been happy. I wouldn't have been content. And I think this reflectiveness, you say it all the time. I get drunk and I get like real happy. And it's because I'm freaking happy. And that's really dope to come to that realization that there's nothing that I have to attain. There's nothing that I have to do, that I'm just happy. And then part of that,
you can pursue things you want to do now at this point.
Right. And part of that is I probably still use it with the music like you do, because I play the same playlist all the time, but it's not like it was. Yeah. Right. When we get together now, it's not me saying, well, let's turn on CB4 and Fear the Black Hat. It's not that. It's just, hey, we could do whatever, because I just love hanging out with my brother and sister.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think that also comes with being on your healing journey, right? All the things that you used to need, like to get through the day and to get by, you don't need anymore because you aren't even that person anymore.
Yeah.
Join the conversation and follow the Unsolicited Perspectives podcast on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you get your audio podcasts.